me that, you've been told that people wonder how do I do it? Like, how do I travel so often? If I'm a single mother of 4.
Right.
Okay, switching to Spanish. ¿Cómo le hago? Y ya sé, o sea, eso se lo dijeron a él. So he was told, but I've been told the same thing. I've been asked, how do you do it? Like, I mean, like, do you have a side job, or do you have a sponsor? like for real. Like, people think that I'm being sponsored for my trips. Y lo de patrocinador, en español le decimos patrocinador o patrocinadores, pues lo puedes entender en diferentes sentidos, ¿verdad? Porque puede ser empresas o puede ser una persona. No, I'm not sponsored. I just find ways to travel, like, I find ways to travel and saving money, not spending too much. I always go for the cheaper option. And I was telling JC that last trip I made to Mexico for our yoga retreat with my teacher, Michael, I could have done it from Reynosa, because there's several flights from Reynosa to Mexico City, and flying from Reynosa, it's very convenient for us, especially like I was raised in Reynosa, so I'm not scared, I'm not scared to go to Reynosa. It's cheaper. Let's talk about numbers. If we fly from McAllen to Mexico City, that can be from $200 to $500 for a one-way ticket. Flying from Mexico, from Reynosa, maybe from $50 to $120. So, I mean, we're talking about, what, 1/5 of that, 1/4. Well, long story short, last time I went to Mexico, I had to leave from Monterrey because of the times of the flights, and also because it's cheaper. So I went to my retreat in Estado de Mexico. It took me 13 hours to get there because I had to take several, cabs and a flight and a bus, but made it safe. The retreat was amazing. So I was asking JC, so how much do you think I paid for my retreat? So it was, it started on a Friday, then it was all day Saturday, and then almost all day Sunday. We had all the meals included. They were vegetarian, freshly made. There was a chef, amazing chef, Amilcar, the chef Amilcar de Querétaro. Practicing with my teacher, Michael Stewart. The place was amazing. It was a private property in Estado de Mexico. Era un rancho alrededor de las montañas. So we were surrounded by mountains and nature. I mean, you could hear the birds singing in the morning. Había burritos, there were some donkeys. It was beautiful, beautiful. So I was asking JC, how much do you think I paid for that? So he was like, well, if all of that was included, I think it was, my guess is what do you say, 1,000?
Yeah, 1,000.
1,000.
And that was lowballing it.
And I was like, no.
Oh, sorry.
500. No. So I paid, I want to say $200 for that. With a quality yoga teacher, his teachings are amazing. He travels the world. Right now he's in a festival, yoga festival in Germany. So I don't even check how much a festival in Germany is, the tickets for the festival. And I've always thought that it's in my mind, I want to go, and one day I'll go. It's yo estoy diciendo, it's being manifested, it's being
spoken into fruition.
Decretado, decimos en español. Eventually, which is my favorite word. Right now, not right now. I don't know how much a ticket in a yoga festival in Germany is, but I had the chance, the privilege, the honor to practice with my teacher in a beautiful place for that amount. So,
but also one has to realize, it takes a special person to be able to have things line up the way they do as well. To be able to get that created, because that's a lot of value for that specific event. You know, something like that could have very easily been $2,000 to $5,000.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
we're not really resorting just to that specific one, because over the years you've been able to do that.
That's the way I travel. That's the way I travel. Even my first yoga training, I did it like that. When I first started practicing yoga, when I went to Cancun and did my yoga teacher training in Cancun.
Like your very first.
Very first, 8 years ago.
First.
First. 8 years ago. First I went with no plan. I know
¿Con quién fuiste?
Sola. I know that doesn't work for a lot of people, right? Because you have to be trust, have faith, and that things are gonna happen, and everything's gonna be perfect. I've struggled also. No, it's not that it's always easy. Sometimes it gets challenging. But that time I went with no plan, and the first days I stayed at a hotel, and then I stayed at hostel. No me gustó. I was like, no, I'm not that.
Not that type of girl.
Sí, no puedo. And then I met a girl, and through the studio, and then she opened the door.
That was before
That
was before couch surfing existed.
Sí, no había Airbnb, claro.
Ni Airbnb,
que no.
ni nada.
Nada de eso. Ella
Ni iPhones.
Su propio Airbnb.
Yes. Había iPhones.
Ya había.
Sí.
Yo que no, maybe they were not smartphones. Apenas era puro texting. No, pero regresando a lo que dices tú, it's not about this occasion, this specific event. But the reason I do it, we're just recording a video at Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble marketing department, if you're listening to this, you owe us. Bueno, estábamos allá afuera y está hablando mucho de los beneficios de la ciudad de McAllen y las desventajas, right? Like the good and the bad, the good and the ugly about McAllen. So, ya me salí del tema.
Yeah.
Los viajes, el dinero, cuánto. No, anyway, so
Lo bueno es que McAllen tiene gente que puede viajar.
Sí. He was asking us, I'm going back to the point. He was asking JC, if you had, kids, where would you like to raise your kids? Like here or in Dallas, where is he originally from? Okay. I raised my kids here, but that's why there are options. Let's all travel. And it's always possible, guys. I always actually my daughters always make fun of me because I always say hey, when we go out to a restaurant, because we're a big family, so of course it's a big expense. So I tell them con este dinero mejor nos deberíamos ir a Cancun. Because it's true. It is possible. So going back to the reasons what I do this because I love living in the valley. Sometimes it gets challenging, let's be honest. Sometimes it's boring, let's be honest. There are not a lot of things to do, but it's changing, we're growing. So I have the chance, to be, ¿cómo se dice? Arriesgada. I take my risk and I go to Mexico and I travel. I get trained and I come back and I share my experience. I share the learnings with others. And
do you want to get off?
I go back and
it's kind of dark in the shade.
Sí, I go back. Regreso, porque tengo la oportunidad de hacerlo. It's possible. And my biggest reason, my why, is to share with others. To grow in my yoga practice and also in my yoga career. As a studio owner and yoga teacher, I like to learn from others that have been there and have been in my place, and they have done it. They found a way to make it work, and it's their lifestyle. Como Michael, mi maestro, él tiene 30 años practicando yoga y vive alrededor del mundo, no está en un solo lugar. Yo no puedo hacer eso, ahora mi vida es diferente, tengo hijos, pero es una inspiración. That's inspiration, right? So maybe eventually I'll be able to do that. But right now, this is my base. My hometown is my base. I'm here. I have the honor, the chance, the privilege to, share what I do, what I love doing, and do it as it's my job, no? No es como trabajo, es mi pasión, es my passion. And I can bring teachers that I've met, in Mexico or other states, here in the States, and I can bring him to the valley. You know?
¿Quién sigue? ¿Quién vas a traer?
Aquí estamos.
De otro país.
De otro país. Bueno, de México.
De Germany.
De Germany todavía no. Pero de aquí de Monterrey, el próximo domingo vienen Yolanda y Joel, que van a hacer un teacher training. Aquí van a estar. Y luego, luego también va a venir Héctor Terán de México. Michael va a venir también. Tenemos una sorpresa preparándola. No voy a decir nada hasta que ya tenga las fechas, el lugar, los datos. So I'm not going to share anything until I have, like, you know, the dates and what the event's going to be. But we're working on something really, really cool for the Valley. We need it. It's going to happen.
Time to raise the
Está en
roof.
el video. Va a pasar. Y no va a pasar de este año. Es ahora, aquí. Here and now.
Here now.
It was awesome sharing this. It's just a little bit, es un poquito como se dice? My mind's a little scattered. We just ate. We've been, like, you know, outside. We're like sweaty, tired. I'm very thirsty. But, you know, this is life. And this is actually how we live our lives. Sometimes our days are, you know, crazy and we're here and there. And then we have to go back to our center.
There you
Go
go.
home, shower.
Pick up
maybe.
your daughter from
Yes,
school.
well, sí, mejor, no me acuerdes. Yes, before all of that, yeah, I'm gonna go home, shower, then again, otra vez, como chofer, pick up the kids and drop them up, and then come back and teach. So, you know, we're alive, and as long as we are alive, we have this blessing, this opportunity to make amazing things with our life, with our day. We're breathing, so that means we can do whatever we want. Some people need machines. I lived it. You know, I went through that experience when my mother was sick. You know, when she was needing this equipment for her to be alive, yeah, to
Right.
function. So we don't need anything. We were saying earlier in class, you know, what a privilege it is that you don't have to think about breathing, that you don't have to, like, you know, train to learn how to breathe. It just happens naturally.
Yeah.
So we are breathing, we are alive, we are blessed. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you, JC.
You're welcome.
Thank you, T-Dog. You're
T-Dog.
amazing. So
T-Dog.
talented. And we are melting. We probably
know,
lost
right?
5 pounds already.
You were supposed to get up. You never got off. Yeah,
Okay. Hey, if I move, then like I lost.
You lose train of thought. No, I was gonna say there's a saying that goes, be happy that you have, like, if you don't have any shoes, be happy because you could be like, well, you don't have any feet or any legs. You know?
It's about thinking positive and, like, no matter what.
I was like,
Make it-
I forgot something here. My.
Yeah. Well, where are you going, bro?
Así decía yo cuando dabas